Good day, my name is Agatha Stewart Francis, and today I am presenting my practicum presentation for Seminar 3. My practicum topic is the impact of compensation on employees' performance at Courtyard Marriott Nassau, a case study. My current practicum location is Courtyard Marriott Nassau, which is a 201-room resort complex located in Nassau, New Providence, the Bahamas. The resort is presently owned by Trust Hospitality Management Company, and its CEO is Yaron Hershko. It was officially opened in December 2015 as Sunset Resort International and renamed Courtyard Marriott Nassau in July 2016. The resort employs 90 individuals whom the Human Resource Department is responsible for recruiting, selecting, training, and managing. The on-site practicum mentor is Leon Lundy, who is the Senior Human Resource Manager and Financial Controller. In order to obtain further exposure and broaden my experience, I have chosen internship in the private sector over internal placement. This internship has proven to be very beneficial thus far. It has allowed me to obtain first-hand experience in another industry and has allowed me to put into practice all that I have learned throughout my course of study for this degree. Now, my focus of this practicum and the rationale as it relates to compensation and benefits. It is my belief that employers and employees play a crucial role in determining how an organization is run. Human capital is the most important component in an organization's success. The employer needs the employees and vice versa. Therefore, both parties must be aware of what is expected of them. The employer expects the employees to be self-monitoring, continually learning, adhere to the rules and regulations, and to be efficient, effective, and productive. The employees, on the other hand, expect the employer to provide opportunities for growth and an environment that is conducive, the necessary training and resources for them to perform their jobs, and a fair compensation system. Now, the main purpose of this practicum is to provide insight into the impact of the compensation system on the employee's performance at Courtyard Marriott Nassau. It will also serve as a study to garner knowledge into any gaps between Courtyard Marriott Nassau compensation system and employees' performance. And lastly, the findings will also serve as a reference source on the link between compensation and employees' performance for any future research. Now, the main objective of this practicum is to determine the impact of an organization compensation system on the employee's performance. Now, based on the main objectives, I have established some specific objectives. The specific objectives are to 1. Identify the type of compensation packages Courtyard Marriott Nassau offer employees. 2. Determine what factors affects the performance of employees at Courtyard Marriott Nassau. 3. Investigate the impact of Courtyard Marriott Nassau compensation system issues on employees' performance. 4. Determine how an effective compensation package can motivate employees at Courtyard Marriott Nassau. 5. Determine if an effective compensation package would aid Courtyard Marriott Nassau in becoming more competitive in the work industry. And 6. Recommend ways to address compensation and performance issues at Courtyard Marriott Nassau. This seminar presentation will address Objective 1, 4, and 6. Objective 2, 3, and 5 will be addressed at a later date, as I am currently working on questionnaire and seeking the approval of my mentor to disperse the questionnaire. Now, the theoretical framework I am using is theories such as the compensation theory and the performance theory, which I am exploring with specific emphasis being placed on reinforcement and expectancy theories. Both reinforcement theory and expectancy theory focuses on the link between reward and behavior, Rome 1964. Now, the theoretical model that I am utilizing is the conceptual framework, which is a diagrammatic representation of coherent ideas or concepts organized in a manner that makes them easy to communicate to others. Green 2014, page 35. The conceptual framework shows the relationship between independent and dependent variables. The independent variables for this research problems as shown in the diagram below are direct and indirect compensation, and the dependent variable is employees' performance. Before even beginning this research, I need to understand exactly what is compensation. Compensation, as indicated by ONALID 2012, alludes to all types of monetary returns and substantial benefits that a worker receives as a component of the employment relationships. Compensation is divided into two sections, and these are cash compensation, which is the immediate pay given by the employer for work performed by the worker, and for referee compensation, which refers to Employees Benefits Program, Brother did 2007. The monetary payment and non-monetary rewards benefits all constitute to the compensation system of an organization, McNamara 2008. Scholars have identified two types of compensation packages. According to Dressler 2013, these two kinds of compensation include direct and indirect compensation. Direct compensation involves the direct cash benefits that the employee receives on a monthly, bi-monthly, or weekly basis. It also includes stock bonus or executive stock options, abbreviated ESQ, Dressler 2013. Indirect compensation involves indirect financial and non-financial payments employees receive for continuing their employment with the company, Armstrong and Taylor 2014. It can include items such as annual holidays. Now, Capita and others 2013 and McNamara 2008 both proposes that benefits and rewards influences employees' performances, enables organizations to attract, retain, and motivate employees, and maintain a competitive edge. Other researchers such as Kocha, Dreha, Burt, Islam, No, Ruby, Shahu, and Jing proposes that there is a significant relationship between compensation and employees' organization performance. After conducting research on the types of compensation and the impact of compensation on employees' performance and completing a literature review on the same, I have unearthed a few problems and issues on site, but I am only going to highlight three of the major ones. Firstly, there is inadequate direct and indirect compensation plan for employees. Presently, employees at Courtyard Marriott, Nassau, only receive their basic salary, which is based on the minimum wage outlined by the government. Next, there's gratuity, which is not applied to the entire staff. It is only applied to the food and beverage and banquet staff, who receive 15%, and the housekeeping staff, whom receive a gratuity of $5 for each adult staying in a room. Also, there is the national insurance benefit, where the company only pays 3.8%, while the employees pay 5.8%, which is based on the government labor laws. Additionally, employees also receive vacation pay and receive free meal while at work to encourage them to remain on site. Another on-site issue that I have observed is employees are not allowed to join a union without management approval. Employees cannot join the union unless 50% plus one amount of the staff population votes yes. According to Snell and Bolander 2013, unions are very important because they represent the members during negotiation, for example, for salaries or increase, ensure that the workers' rights are not infringed upon by management, and ensures that they are treated fairly by the organization which they are employed. Another issue that I have observed is that each department is responsible for its own HR files, and there is no centralized location to house these files. This is a major issue for me because confidential files and sensitive files of employees are not fully protected, and I believe that access should be limited to only the HR managers, executives, and upper administration. To mitigate this issue, I have done some research and discovered the Enterprise Resource Planning Software, ERP. The ERP software is equipped with modules that allow the human resource department employees to maintain information on employees and also allow managers to manage information on their employees, as well as allow employees to keep some of their own information up to date. Software Shortlist Pty Limited, 2018. The methodology that I utilize in my research is the mixed method, which is a combination of the qualitative and quantitative method. Creswell 2015 explains that the mixed method fosters the expansion of understanding of a research problem. The combination of the quantitative data, which includes statistics, with qualitative data, which includes personal explanation from experiences, strengthens the findings and contributes to better comprehension of the research problem identified. Creswell 2015. I wanted to be able to understand the perception of the employees as to how their compensation system motivates them to perform their job through interviews. I also wanted to combine the statistical data obtained along with narrative in order to grasp more accurate conclusion and provide feasible recommendations in order to improve the compensation system and in return employees' performance at the Courtyard Marriott Nassau. The primary data was acquired via open line of communication with my mentor, random sampling, semi-structured face-to-face interviews, and an online survey powered by SurveyMonkey, which was used as an analysis tool, and WhatsApp, which was used to disperse the SurveyMonkey questionnaire. The secondary data was obtained via peer-reviewed journals, academic texts, online databases, textbooks on human resource management, and past course materials. The data collection instrument included questionnaires and interviews. The population sample for the questionnaire included 25 employees from the various departments, and for the interview, only one employee, the senior HR manager, was interviewed. The data analysis technique that I utilized was the SurveyMonkey tool. As it relates to the questionnaire, it was divided into two sections. Firstly, the demographics of the respondent, which included the department, gender, age, and length of service with the organization. Secondly, questions which link the compensation system and employees' performance. As it relates to the interview, despite the fact that only one person was interviewed, the individual was interviewed on several occasions. The interviews were based on opinions, feelings, knowledge, and experiences. It was used as a support to the questionnaire and to obtain clarification on responses given by the respondents of the questionnaire. The data collected from the questionnaires were analyzed using the SurveyMonkey tool and the descriptive statistic analysis method. Trojan 2006 explains that the descriptive statistics are methods used for describing the basic features of the data in a study. It simply describes what is or what the data shows. Using both methods, the data will then be presented using bar chart, pie chart, and tables and figures. Now that I have completed my practicum, there are a few lessons I have learned and improvements that I feel need to be made to the company's policies and procedures. Firstly, that the gratuity is shared amongst all lower level employees, even if they do not have direct contact with guests. That staff members be allowed to join the Bahamas Hotel and Catering and Allied Workers Union freely, despite the percentage required by management and without management approval. That improvements be made to the organization recruitment and selection policies. That orientation for staff lasts for at least 1 week instead of a few hours of the day. This is to ensure that employees understand the organization policies with regards to its goals, operation, its compensation system, and what their job entails. That all employees' files be kept in one centralized location and be managed by the human resource manager. I am now of the belief that both direct and indirect compensations are crucial to employees' performance. A good compensation system can serve as a motivator and have a positive impact on employees' performance. Next, job security is very important to employees. If an employee feels their job is secure, then they will be more committed to the organization. The Courtyard Marriott Nassau is one of the only hotels in New Providence, the Bahamas, where employees are not contractual workers, but are permanent. Therefore, in spite of many of them not being satisfied with their present compensation package, they are still willing to stay because of job security. I have realized that human resource management entails a lot more work than I anticipated, especially if the department is understaffed. I have watched my mentor, Mr. Lundy, over the past few weeks balance his job as a senior HR manager and financial controller due to the insufficient staff within the department. Based on my internship and findings from this research, it is recommended that the human resource manager develops and implements a proper compensation plan that outlines the proper job evaluation process and pay structure for the organization. The company should provide health protection benefits to its employees, even if employees be held responsible for paying a portion of the fee. This can also create a sense of loyalty and encourage their productivity in the company. Since the employees are hired as permanent workers, the company should implement a retirement package, which can assist with attracting and retaining employees in the company and can also improve their performance once again. The company should implement an employee recognition programs for employees with outstanding performance. This can also motivate employees, thus enhancing employees' productivity in the company. It is hoped that by implementing these recommendations, the Courtyard Marriott Nassau will be able to optimize employees' performance. Below are the references that I used to complete this presentation. Thank you for viewing this presentation and good day.